Welcome everybody, I'm Egoist, and today I'm gonna vibe to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. You know, taking a little break from Portal, since the last 5 videos were just Portal. Though ideally, I'm gonna be able to play Portal Stories Mill soon. Though I've been trying to set it up and it wasn't really working, so I don't know. But yeah, this time I want to get a specific ending, which it was in the old game. I don't remember exactly what the ending is. I remember something about, I think, Stanley dying? Like, it's something about, or was it the narrator dying? I don't know, it was kind of like a panel that had, like, every possible ending, like, shown on the screen. And I kind of forgot everything about that ending except for that one panel. What I remember though is that it was something about like it was either like Stanley dying because the narrator killed him or the opposite of that. I don't know. Let's begin. Let's begin. The end is still never the end. I think the way to get there is I have to get to that part with the what? I was gonna say you have to get to that part of the red doors, the red and the blue door, and actually enter the red door. But it seems the content of this video has changed.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Oh, you put it there.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Looking forward to it. Sorry about last time with the skip button. So did the narrator make his own new content? He was very adamant on keeping the game the way it was.
You see, Stanley,
Okay.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So
This again.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Yes.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh! The end is never the
Yes,
end again.
See, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay, I mean I'm into it so far, but oh yeah, I can't jump. I forgot I can't jump. Okay, I'm curious. You've piqued my interest.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back. 2 doors. Oh, the 2 doors. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. TSP2 logo ideas. Thanks for attending my meeting. That's cute. This one here, that one. I think that one's pretty creative. Though I think I like this one more. I don't know. It just feels more Stanley Parable, you know?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be. But let's
Stanleys.
take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I
Yeah?
figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Oh, man. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Oh, man. Half-Life, I'm coming for you soon. Though there is Half-Life, there are a lot of Half-Life games. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play all of them. Cause like just uploading 5 Portal videos in a row kind of made me feel like I was milking it, even though it's a fucking, I don't know, 15-year-old game. Like, let alone Half-Life 2 that has like 5, 6 games. Oh my god, that's the fucking song Just the Two of Us. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. Don't mind me singing. You are the sequel. That's not a compliment. Is that a bird? Is that a crow? That's a crow. That's pretty cute. Okay. Why? You didn't have to put this here, man. Hey, can you give me the ability to jump again? That was my favorite part of the other
Here we
thing.
are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. Long. Exclusive. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Does it just say Stanley, or does it like read the computer name? Please. Is that Stanley? Hold on. I'm opening Sherrick's. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray traced more of the same but in a good way sequel to the Stanley Parable. New features, new content, new ideas. Ooh. Okay, it's open. There, I screenshotted it. What are you gonna do now? The baby's all grown up. No way. No way. Before I go that, I want to see the, this. Though I'm pretty sure if the computer, if it says the computer's name, I'm pretty sure it's my dad's name, and I don't want to.
For the
Like,
Stanley Parable
expose
2,
'em.
I asked myself, what do players
want to
really
explore more.
want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
It's probably just gonna say Stanley as a gag. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Right here. Jim.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here,
Not
let's have
Jim.
you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
But
Okay,
this
here we go. Let's take a deep breath.
This
clear
isn't
your
the
mind,
Jim Parable.
Forget whoever you are and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
right.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Not sure. I'm Jim. Welcome everybody. I'm Jim, and today I'm gonna vibe to Stanley Parable 2.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again.
It
do it again.
did. I'll do it again.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Is the narrator named Jim? The fuck? Oh man. God, the narrator is so cute. Thankfully, he won't get blasted into space while I'm desperately trying to save him. I cannot handle that. I'm assuming I'm gonna leave those stairs to the ending, because I'm guessing that's leaving the area. So I saw the new. Does that QR code actually work? I think I have a QR code reader on my phone. Hold on. Let me read the shirts first. The Stanley Parable 2. The end is never the end again. Fittingly, this is my second part of the Stanley Parable series, quote unquote. So it's perfect. It's actually perfect. This is Destiny. I would wear that second shirt, by the way. That this T-shirt is the best new feature. I would probably actually wear that. Let me see. Does it actually take to a website? It does. StanleyParable2.com. Welcome to the official website of Stanley Parable 2. A sequel, huh? Watch our helpful and informative video to learn more about the Stanley Parable and what the journey of becoming a sequel is all about. I am probably not gonna watch that right now. That's new. If you're more of a prequel sort of person, check out the Stanley Parable. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the exhibit. It is a crow, yeah. Join the Crows Discord or follow us on Twitter. Okay, but I want to check out... Bucket! There's a bucket! Dear God! Okay, I want to check out this, because is this Stanley? Does he actually have a face now?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I
Yes?
think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Probably the birthday one. But Get Well Someday is so funny. Let me screenshot this too. I think Get Well Someday. Actually,
You know,
I changed my mind.
sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Yeah.
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
It probably changes each time. Like, if you pick this one, it would probably be this one. But yeah, okay. Is that the other woman? It's like, her name is like Marianne or something. I don't remember. I need to see that ending again. Free plus new easy achievement. Free new plus easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours now. Actually, that terrifies me. Let me, before I get my new achievement. Yes! 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 Yes!
You know what? Let's bring the jump
Yes!
back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
No.
Oh, well.
No.
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative...
No! Let me jump, please. Okay, let's check out the collectibles before we go to the achievement. Collect them all. Ooh, pretty.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay. I'd collect them. Regardless. This is pretty. Let me screenshot. Screenshots are all really jagged. Okay. Oh, I gotta collect them all now. The number went up and I'm immediately just like, I ought to collect them all. I wonder. Is there actually an achievement for Dude, I don't like seeing Stanley's face. This is so unsettling. But I wonder if there is, like, an actual, maybe, achievement for all the things. I mean, there probably isn't. For collecting all the things, I mean. For the
Now,
the
here's
things.
something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yes.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Oh.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Test achievement unachieved.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is
Oh,
technology
will
that will
exist.
exist.
Not yet,
right
not yet,
now,
not
the
yet.
achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley.
It's
but I
fine, it's
guarantee
fine.
it will
Jim.
be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
Gravity
you
Falls
can
already
fall
did it.
until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Huh. Okay.
You see,
Oh.
isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
I like the
Now
shepherd's
then,
stone in the back.
Since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward.
I'm assuming there's dialogue if I wait here long enough, so...
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Yeah,
Maybe
just
do it
a
on
little
the
bit.
sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I mean, it's infinite. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully,
Jim.
but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
I'm not gonna
Is
die,
it a
am
very,
I?
very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is.
Don't
Is
take
it
that out of context.
infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
It isn't
From
infinite,
one
is it?
perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
How
I'm a
many
liar
cigarettes-
and a cheat, and you're so...
Oh no, that wasn't my
I think
intention!
the thing here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Yes, actually.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I
Yeah.
figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Dude, chill!
Look, things got a little heated there. I
Yeah,
think we
come
both
on.
said some things we didn't mean.
No,
Why don't
all
we
I
just
wanted
put
was to hang out
all
with
this
you, man.
behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite.
Sure, I'm
If
fine
that
with that.
works for you,
It does.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay, sure. All I wanted was to hear him talk more, and then he started insulting me. Can't believe that. Still love him
Great.
though.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Mostly infinite hole. That's new. Oh, this is the stairs, okay. Epilogue already? In which case, then that really should be left for the end. Wait. The bucket. How do I get the bucket?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that
Oh, it
after
can't
much
fall.
consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance
Oh my
Bucket.
god.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come
Sure.
to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to,
To be less
uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Sure, let's get attached to yet another inanimate object. Companion. Shh, okay. Companion bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must
It
already
has
be sweeping
physics.
through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Don't say that, makes me feel
The
things.
benefits
But
of
thank
the
you.
bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes.
To getting all the
We'll go
endings?
at the
Yeah.
end of the well, we'll figure that out later.
I'm assuming that's all.
All right.
What's up,
Have
Red?
you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if there's more. If there is more content, feel free to tell me. Okay, can I, like,
So, Stanley,
take a sit here?
what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I
Yes,
do.
I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
There's
Okay,
too
never
much
mind.
in one spot, bro.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, could I have
This
gotten
is
these
much
collectibles?
better.
I don't
feel
know.
good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Version 2 of Stanley Parable 2. Oh, there's even more.
Who am I kidding, Stanley?
Such a mess.
This isn't
Sorry.
a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Yeah,
with
that's
respect.
how it works.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
And
a title
new
screen
enough
that says
content.
With bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2.
But it needs to
see
feel
if I can
different
whip
enough from the
something up.
original. That's important.
All right, perfect. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take a look.
I'm looking. Oh, okay. Actually, take a look. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. It's red, which is unnerving, actually. Okay, credits. Crows, Crows, Crows. Written by Davey Redden. Narrated by Kevin Briding. Love you. Okay, well, here are the QR codes if you want to read them. Okay, I like the song, too. Though I feel like it's too powerful for what's Stanley Parable with collectibles.
This is the story of.
Let's see if it's different. I'm not skipping. Yet.
Stanley worked
It is
for
different.
a company in a big building, and then one day something very peculiar happened.
2.
Something that would forever change Stanley.
His
Something
name
he would
became
never quite
Jim.
forget.
He
He
found
had
the
been at his
bucket.
desk for nearly an hour.
Okay. Pretty much the same thing except for the
All of his
balloons.
co-workers were.
If I can find them input computers.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
So-called free thinkers when bucket. 2 doors.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna follow his orders for this. I'm entering the left. Broom closet. Still a broom
Stanley,
closet?
Can
Oh.
you feel it? The
What?
broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Oh,
You can
what?
feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
My
it's
bucket.
as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
My
I
bucket.
can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I'm
I
not.
know
Yeah,
how
I'm
hard
not.
it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This
Thank
is your
you.
bucket.
I will be
This
strong.
is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no.
I
We're getting
won't.
into name calling now, it seems. Is this how low the
How
broom closet has
fucking
sunk
dare
that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Called me
Stanley,
fatty, no parents
I never
again,
liked
huh?
this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
How
That your relationship is purely
fucking
superficial and
dare
convenient?
you?
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them
Point by
point.
Do a fucking
Share your
PowerPoint
journal
presentation.
entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Okay, but I'm not letting anyone else take my bucket. Last time I let someone take my fucking object that I was
got you
obsessed
something
with.
which I think will help
It-
settle
the-
this
the
debate
object
once
died,
and for
so-
all. Here we go.
Thank
There.
you.
Now it's settled.
Should have done
No
that
more
with the
debate,
companion cube.
No more discussion.
Take a hike, broom closet.
Yeah,
with all
fuck
your
you.
meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Of course it
Yes,
was.
This is certainly
Yeah.
the most logical explanation.
It's the bucket.
You found one of them. One of the
Yay!
Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these.
Fun
only
by
the
me.
intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You
Yay!
can't find that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I will savor it. Thank you.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Thank you,
The
bucket.
bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you. I love the bucket.
Stanley
my
and
homies love
the
the
walked
bucket.
straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I'm following this. Okay?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
This is kind of like the exact same thing, but bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
No.
Everyone
I
in the
didn't.
office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as
No,
Stanley
no,
cradled
it's fine,
it
it's fine.
gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Yeah. Relax. Relax, bucket. We're getting out of here soon.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the
No.
bucket been told to do things it
I
didn't
hope
wish to
not.
do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Maybe ask
These
the bucket.
questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Yeah, ask the bucket. Talk with the bucket about it. If y'all are such friends, like,
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
no,
Never.
you keep the bucket.
He squeezed
Okay,
the bucket
thank God,
tighter.
thank God, thank God, thank God.
His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
This is very
Controls
different.
labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Bucket's based.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Was it over? Yes,
Okay.
they had done it. Stanley
Freedom
and the bucket
ending
had
plus
defeated
bucket.
their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. It was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Hello?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Why?
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
What?
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
Is this intentional?
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket.
No!
Needed the soothing warmth of the bucket. Would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
But
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
But he
Not
can't
while
leave
this
the
building has
bucket.
anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, He was about to find out.
This bucket just is Wheatley. Didn't I say the exact same thing? I wouldn't mind if I stood here and talked with Wheatley. We talked to Wheatley for the rest of time. Didn't I say that in the very first Portal 2 episode? It's fucking Doug Radman. Sorry, everything is Portal in my mind right now. Places to search. Ooh. A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue, a private but smelly place for an important person. Okay. I'm taking a picture of this. Okay, yeah, there's one in the bathroom, as I imagined. Follow clues provided by 416, we can do it. Red room. Figurines! Is that what they're called? Okay, so 416 is our Ratman. Also, if you don't know who Doug Radman is, read the Portal comics. Because there's Portal 2 comics. Wait, let me read it again. One is the bathroom. One is maybe in front of the two doors. Okay, large room with lots of boxes. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Somewhere both blue and red. A private but smelly place for an important person. Okay, so I'm going up again.
Into a step.
Another
There we
Mr.
go.
Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stands.
Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
Yes,
I actually like
think
that, yeah.
That. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Thank you. Though I can't go back now. That's the thing. Oh, I can. Okay, I'm going down. There we go.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines
Oh,
and Figlies.
Figurine
What do
and
you think,
Lees.
Stanley?
Okay.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one? Let me
Figlies,
sit on it.
apparently.
I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay. Take your time. Large room, lots of boxes. Somewhere both red and blue. Those are the only ones left.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
The bucket's gone.
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Where's it coming from?
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
I'm looking for
He
you.
had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
Where is it?
And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a
Mariella, that's her name.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of
She also
comfort
has
and
a bucket.
security,
That's
and walked
nice.
to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man
Had no bucket, yeah.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
Good,
But of
good.
course, she had no time for
Oh,
this.
Mariella, help
there
him.
were a myriad
Me.
of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck,
Kinda
yes, she thought
dystopian.
to herself, my life
Like,
kicks ass.
actually
And
kinda
she
dystopian.
backflipped all the way to work.
Holy shit! I'm gonna disobey the narrator, currently.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
This place
Had
is just
the bucket
blue.
turned out to be
I could get going forward. Wait, large room. There are boxes. Let's check it out.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Look, box. There it is, there it is, there it is. How do I get there? Do I... Ah! Okay, I'm scared of falling down. Here. Here. Yes!
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figurines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one.
Figurines?
And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now
We have them all, yeah.
You can't go back to when you had no Figurines. None of us can.
Figurines. What's red and blue? I'm trying to think of somewhere that's red and blue. I'm
Tried to
gonna
get to his
see
chest.
if it's the
This
doors.
was not to go back, and so
Or
the
maybe
two of
it's
them detoured
this.
through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Let's see if it's the elevator.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh, what? Wait, okay, so that mannequin over there, the narrator pretends that's your wife in one of the endings, and that's the baby that I showed in the other video. And that's the, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the other video. That's like the line that the narrator forces you to follow in one of the endings.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you
My
very much.
bucket!
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
My
We're the ones
bucket!
that matter, Stanley.
Fuck
Classic
you!
characters from the first game, like the
I
Adventure
do like the
Line and
Adventure
the
Line.
Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
Narrator,
Don't you want
no.
another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes.
Serious?
That's what the fans want. Let's do it.
I just want to find somewhere red and blue, dude. Don't run me over.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
It trademarked. Yeah, I remember the music. From the original Stanley Parable, I mean. Da da
Now
da.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No! It's a fucking incinerator room, but for the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
God.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to
No.
me it already feels as though it's been
No.
part of the cast all along.
Narrator.
Don't you agree?
If you're introducing this character, then you must acknowledge
Can you
the...
guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Surely
Surely you don't
you
need me to
must
spell it out for you.
acknowledge the validity of the bucket.
Go ahead now, Stanley.
No.
Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No, no, no. I won't. Let me
Now
out.
listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
Narrator, I love you,
don't
but I
know
will
what
not.
The Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
Wow, how
Sure, I can
profound.
hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so
Turn it off.
densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
The bucket!
It's certainly not.
The
I wonder what sort of
bucket!
Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it.
I
We can't get
refuse.
back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
No!
Quickly now, the fans are waiting.
I'm
Do
keeping
it
the
for
bucket
fans,
with me.
Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
I
Hurry and-
refuse! Oh?
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with
You
tell such
were.
spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
The bucket is my replacement Wheatley. And replacement companion cube. I'm keeping it with me forever.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Sure, let me just go to the doors.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see,
The
there's a
sign! I
right
forgot
there. It
about the
says,
sign.
"No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Are you seriously
I
locking me
suppose
in
that
here
would
right now?
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This
No.
misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game
No.
if not addressed quickly and properly. So
I'm
much
not getting rid of the
impact
bucket.
of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a
Okay, I'm not getting rid of the bucket. Thank God. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple
Okay.
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin.
Game show.
Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket.
I'm gonna. Oh, narrator. I love you, but.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
It has physics, yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay, narrator. I see.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct.
Finally.
This is a bucket.
It was inducing you to press no at that one, but.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
It's a truck.
Correct. This
tractor.
is a
Okay,
tractor
same difference.
and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was
Thought
starting
so.
to get concerned that even this might be too much.
Oh,
Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay.
You're
next
not an
one.
idiot, narrator. I could never.
Is this a bucket?
Still not a bucket.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Woof, woof. Okay.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
It's not gonna be a bucket.
Trick
What?
question. Both. Gotcha.
Schrodinger. Lovely.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
Okay,
I love
you
pressing
and I
buttons.
both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket
Dude,
is
I
nothing?
just pressed a random
Straight
button!
Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
Narrator.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift.
You're the one
Do
who's
any of us know
hosting
what
this
a
game
bucket
show.
is? Am I a bucket?
Let's discuss Hegel, shall we?
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
Oh, narrator.
I'm afraid the bucket is threatening
No!
to tear our relationship apart.
Oh, don't make me choose between you and the bucket!
But I'm going to erase all...
No!
from
No!
the game.
No! No, 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 no.
Here we go.
Narrator, please, please don't. No, 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 narrator, please. No, 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 no.
What happened? Is everything gone?
Everything
Why
is
did
a
everything
bucket.
disappear?
Everything is a
Was
bucket.
everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no
Damn.
idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here.
Yeah.
You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yeah.
Yes,
Lovely.
I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you
I mean, what am I talking with
I'll
you?
reset everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket.
Bring back
but
my
if you run
bucket.
into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay. Just bring back my bucket. And I want the other Figly, whatever. But I can't go to the red and blue door, so I'm unsure where to go.
To the
Let's
meeting
go up the
room.
lift.
But
Alright, let me hear.
In here,
said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Over here
Stanley
where?
once again obeyed blindly.
This isn't dark. Oh, that's dark though. Perhaps when the lights turn on, it's red and blue.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
I want to plug the phone off, honestly. I don't know. Cause this just takes me to the wife ending again. Okay, let's go visit my wife, but with a bucket instead.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
I wasn't lonely as long
And
as I had
then,
you,
very
but
distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
yeah. Doug Radman lore. This is very pretty. It's different from the other one. Where's my bucket? Oh, there it is. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press F to take me work with you. Okay, so the wife ending. I don't know if that's the actual name. It just forces you to press a bunch of buttons, and it has this sort of dialogue here. Let's go to work, bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
Okay,
Whatever Stanley
Gladys.
is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Whatever, yeah, superstitions, perceiving inanimate objects to be alive, whatever. Press Q to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him.
Aw,
Wouldn't you be
that's
concerned
sweet.
as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Oh. Narrator, when you talk like that, it's hard to say no. Also, I'm stuck here. This is like the perfect ending, I guess, to play right after playing Portal and Portal 2. Because all the stuff that happened with Wheatley and the companion cube, like... Press O to go to work. Narrator?
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
It provides me comfort, though. Oh, but narrator... I mean, I've known the narrator longer than I've known the cube, the bucket, so I can't Oh, I don't know if I have another choice though. Narrator, I'm sorry. Don't listen to the loud man. Press B for us to go back home. Maybe if I press something else, I can instead... Narrator, I'm really trying. I swear I'm trying. Okay, I guess we're going home.
You see, he's not listening.
Narrator.
He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened
Oh,
to.
narrator.
Now all he cares about is his awful bucket.
Are you jealous of
This
a bucket,
stupid
bro?
hunk of metal.
Press N to ignore anyone in your life no. N for narrator, huh? I'm trying to press any other button right now. Esc. The sequel is now paused. Okay,
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
Oh, he does.
From
Trust
now
me.
on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
'Cause it's metal. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press J to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Is the narrator also gonna get attached to the bucket? Is that what's happening here? Because it's my bucket. But press O to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying?
What are you saying?
Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
Yeah, come on.
Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it's your creation. And you always try to make your creation seem grand. Press A to go home to work to home to work to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. The bucket.
This line.
No,
Yeah.
What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
Narrator?
The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Narrator? Okay. Can I show this on YouTube?
Stanley, give me
No,
the bucket.
no.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it. Give it to me now.
Close your eyes.
Or I'll...
I'm closing my eyes. I'm closing my eyes. I'm closing my eyes. Go back to work, Stanley. God damn it. I just wanted to go to a fucking red and blue place. My bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they
Why are
went
you
together
talking like that?
would be perfectly fine with him.
Is my bucket kind of getting rusty? Or is it just my impression? I think listening to the narrator is the only thing I can do now. Perhaps the escape ending? I'm running out of options here. Maybe if I don't take the bucket with me. What do I care more about? Do I care more about the bucket or the figlies? Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Let me go.
Farewell, Stanley,
Let me down.
cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single
Let me
visceral
down!
instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Thank you.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true
Indeed.
that
Oh,
all
it's different.
buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold. Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Damn, narrator. Wait, a replica of the infernal bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave depicts early man's discovery of the practical use of the bucket. by which time the bucket had already been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is used, how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Okay, but the buckets allowed themselves to be used, so what the fuck? The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. And then I just fall down to the hole. Oh no, I don't fall. My bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
You and I, the player, you mean?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world.
The bucket's dying with me, bro. But I like that it's the opposite of what you were saying last time. Why is everyone obsessed with this bucket? I'm questioning this, and I was the first person to get attached here. I'm leaving the bucket this time.
First,
I'm gonna try to go to
admire
the red and blue
Stanley
doors
felt
again.
lightheaded.
There
Let
it
me
is.
prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Yes, I knew it.
Give me a chance.
I'm a genius.
The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor this
Wiggly.
moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where
Yes.
so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward,
Aw.
and we can't have that.
Yeah, it would be a
So,
reward for me.
Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And
Good.
now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Let's go to the red door this time. But,
Perhaps you misunderstood.
only when
Stanley
the
walked through
arrows
the
are pointing.
red door.
This is what I wanted to do in the beginning before I started
I
hunting
still
for
don't think
figurines.
we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I'm going.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Ah,
You see that
narrator.
I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just
If it's for your
stopped.
happiness, I'll do
And
it.
I think I have a solution. Here,
Bucket.
let me show you.
I don't remember
Do we
exactly.
want? What are we looking
Oh,
for?
this ending. I do remember what it is. Oh, this one makes me sad.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It reminds me
If
of
we
space.
just
It gives
stay
me
right
PTSD.
here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Oh, narrator. God, I hate this ending. It makes me so upset. This actually is beautiful, though. I think I still have some oh, God, this is beautiful. I still have some time. I'm just gonna let y'all chill here for a second. I'm gonna get something to eat. Be right back. I don't know how popular this combo is in other countries, but it's bread, ham, and cheese. And it is pretty good. And very common here in Brazil. But yeah, this ending, y'all will probably if y'all haven't seen this from the original game, you guys probably know this from a specific line the narrator says, because it also kind of became a popular TikTok audio. I mean, I don't know how popular it is, but it did become an audio. I know that. An angsty one, for that matter. So, while I eat, let's just appreciate this for now. And since we're speaking of dialogue lines, I couldn't show this in my last Portal video because I lost the recording of the summary. But did you know that the lemon line, you know, the when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade, get mad? Y'all know that rant? Apparently that came from Portal. Cave Johnson says it. I had no idea. I don't want your damn lemons. What the hell am I supposed to do with these? Let's do this ending and go back to the meeting room, because there's probably something new there since I got all the figurines. Okay.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Oh, I forgot how nervous he gets.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
God, I get so sad with this ending, man. I feel so bad for the narrator. I love him so much.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
God, he gets so panicky. Man.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
It doesn't help that it's a panicky British voice, because in the Wheatley battle at the end, like I was listening to his voice lines that I didn't get to hear it during my playthrough, and in some of them, like Stephen Merchant, his voice actor, delivered those lines so well it kind of sounded like he was about to cry. I don't like that. Anyway.
No! Oh, thank God, you lived. You had me worried there for a moment.
I'm sorry.
Now, can we please get back to the other room?
I'm so sorry, narrator.
No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
God.
My God. Is this
No.
really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
There's clipping here, but narrator, this isn't personal. I just need to go back so I can do the fucking other ending, I guess. The figurine ending, if that's a thing. I'm sorry, narrator.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
That
Looks
line.
like you wanted to make a choice after all.
That line in
Well, this one
particular.
is yours.
That line in particular really hurts me because, again, from my last video, y'all know that all I wanted to do was get along with the narrator. Please, man. Ugh. God. Is this the last one?
Is
Yeah.
it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
He sounds so
I'm going
broken.
back.
Narrator, I'm sorry. Anyway, figurines. Let's see if there's actually something new. What happened? What happened?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's just...
Why?
It's those figures.
Oh, okay, so this is
Those
new. Okay,
figures.
good.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yeah, it did make me feel
Yes,
pretty happy.
I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, I'm willing to go back there. It was very pretty. And I get to compensate for the other thing I did. I get to make the narrator happy again. Seems to be the exact same thing, except now there's this.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
No, narrator. Can I get them again? I can.
And here was the second Stanley. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them. let
It
alone
did happen
6.
by chance,
But
yeah.
you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Keep praising me, please.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
I do. It was the boss's bathroom because I found out which one it was immediately.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
That's how
I'm
counting
glad
works, yeah.
These moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Oh, is that why Valve never posts trilogies?
Let's see, what came next?
This is
Oh yes,
new.
we found a Figly in this pink room.
No, we
Oh,
didn't.
Well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room,
It's
but
pretty,
it's here
though.
in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
It didn't, but it's pretty. Lots of
This
boxes.
was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Did you? Let me see. How You Found It by the narrator. Oh god, I love the fucking graphics in this. What's that back there? That is not how I found it, but also the bucket was with me. It's Mini Stand 5! Oh man. You found it near the cargo lift. Indeed, and then I killed myself. Thanks for watching. Oh, narrator. Best boy narrator! Yes! You are a great editor.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
You wanna be my editor?
Time making that video,
Your videos
but it
are
was
amazing.
8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything.
8 minutes. Okay, where do I go now?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the
kinda
final
dull,
figurine,
doesn't it?
right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more
Yeah,
recently.
that's what I
than
was gonna
all the
say.
others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know
Scientists?
is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
You are in the present, good to know.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing
The
left
past,
to do but move
present.
onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh, wait, that's it?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we
Oh.
can stay here, keep enjoying these
Cute.
figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yeah, let's collect more figurines. Why not?
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
Right, I also want more. Though this is concerning.
And here's where
the
I made
narrator
that
is-
video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Am I gonna watch it again?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
best
love
boy
that
indeed.
video.
I also love that video.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one.
'Cause
Good
it didn't
room, though.
happen.
A solid room.
It is a pretty good room. I agree. I like the apple.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What if? If I go through this, was it close? 'Cause
This was our second
Shit, it
Figly.
does close,
Don't you
yeah.
remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
I'm going. Though I want to go back there eventually.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
This, yeah. And also the giant Figly. Which I don't think I can collect, but oh, fuck, wait, are we going back to the Ultra Deluxe thing? Can I jump again?
Look, it's the
Oh, I
terrible
can't.
new content that we were originally
Unfortunate.
sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Look how much fun the past is.
Oh, there's a
I want
literal
more,
Rosie.
more memories.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
The two doors. Yeah,
Who
classic.
could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Yeah. And then the office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
The buckets,
There's something
apparently.
I feel I can remember. I can remember.
What can you remember?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started.
Narrator lore?
Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed
That's how you
each
spell
decision
skeptical?
with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with,
Right.
well,
Started
came
narrating.
up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He
Oh.
would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Then Stanley. Was I lonely?
Oh.
Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And
Narrator.
Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion.
I'm
even
always
if he
here
was
for
a
you, man.
fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again.
Can you?
I can do it. I'll be
Okay.
stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
So he's talking to me
I did
directly
enjoy
now, right?
telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Do I pick up the bucket or no? I'm gonna follow the narrator story again. One last run for the narrator. And it's back to normal now.
Yet indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible.
Sorry.
He didn't even have a single
Sorry.
minute to just let the narrator talk.
I'm sorry,
That
dude.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Okay. Calming new age music, yes. I'm trying to see if there's something new, because if there isn't, I'm gonna end the episode right here. Man, should I have gone under the stairs in that one part? Oh, there's Stanley's TV. I was looking for it. Yeah, there he is.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
This Stanley actually is
Freedom
kind of
was
powerful,
mere
not gonna lie.
moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he
This is
needed
pretty.
to know. It was perhaps
Different, I think.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I got the achievement for beating the game. So, narrator? Okay, I think that was just a separate ending then.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders
Oh,
stopped coming
it is
in?
different. I'm never
How is
gonna
that
stop playing this
possible?
game.
They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Let me actually...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let me actually... I don't know, I'm just trying to find something.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Oh, this is the Adventure Line one, isn't it?
From here, it's, left.
Left, okay.
Oh, no, it's to the
Not-
right, my mistake.
It's right. Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Okay.
What was I thinking? It's
Where
clearly...
is it?
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I'll wait.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This
Yep.
story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Correct. Oh, this is where we are.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. Just
Cute.
a little back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
From the top. Let's go. How many endings have I added to this video already?
When Stanley... Wait.
Here we
Wait,
go.
What? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did
No.
you move the story somewhere, or...
How would I even do that?
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
The story?
Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay, let's find the story. Forgot just how disorienting this is. Here? It is different. Oh, well, never mind.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be
Right.
better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
And now there are no doors.
Okay, yep,
It's worse.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
The narrator's so cute. I love him.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This ending is super cool. It's definitely one of my favorites. Ugh,
Now this...
I remember
Well,
this.
I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Do you remember, Stanley?
I do, yeah.
Well, do you know what?
What?
Since I've completely
Am I stuck
forgotten
here?
what we
Here we
were
go.
supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
I forgot about this
You
part.
put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Yeah.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
There it is. It's
All
two.
right, I've got a solution.
The Stanley
This time,
Parable
to make
2
sure we don't
Adventure
get lost,
Line.
I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
That's actually
Just follow
wonderful.
the line. How simple is that?
The line trademarked.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, Is the story of no destination still a story? Simply
If
by
you're
the
describing
act
it
of
as a story,
moving
yeah.
forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Go on.
Now, we can
Yeah.
both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa,
In a way, yeah.
Hang on.
Same
Got a
goes
bit
to
weird
me.
back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
No, it's
You
fine.
know what? I think
No,
what we need
keep
right
going. I
now
like it.
is a bit of
It's
music
philosophical.
to lighten the mood.
Now the music comes. Okay. Da 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 da.
Cut the music.
Here we go.
back and look at that fern.
It wants me to
Stanley,
look at the fern,
this
yeah.
fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Yeah, I'm studying it. I remember when I first played, the original Stanley Parable, I took a screenshot of this fern. I already have it imprinted in my mind anyway. So, oh,
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
oh, I mean, this is a story in a way.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been
Clippy?
through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Saving
Whatever it might be,
Wheatley.
Stanley,
That's
I'm ready for it.
that's what I want my story to be.
Oh,
Oh, not
no,
this.
Not you again.
Not you,
Stanley,
trademarked.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
I'm fine
No
with it.
lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine.
Not even gonna look at it. No, it's everywhere. I cannot look at it. No. No. Okay. Here, and then we switch. Here, and okay. It's going up. It's fine. It's there. It's gone. 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 It's gone.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Sure.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere.
Maybe this is the ending I
which
was
means
talking
that
about at the beginning.
Somewhere, the place where we're
I don't
trying
know.
to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay. This is it. Yeah, the confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really
Yeah.
how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't
This
I
is
get a
it.
say in all of this? Is it really?
The
No,
narrator
it can't
leaves
be.
and Stanley
I
dies.
don't want
That's
it
the
to be.
ending.
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I
Yeah.
don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Does that mean that the ending
whatever it
is
is
done?
that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
Okay.
okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the
Yeah.
meantime, if you...
God, that scared the shit out of me. Okay, no, yeah, that's it, because the balloons are back. God, that ending really unsettles me, in particular. I don't know. Something about the narrator. Like, because the narrator's also trapped in a way. So, something about the narrator, like, finding some form of breaking out of there, but then being forced to come back. Ugh. God, I don't know. That one really gives me, the ick. But anyway, I've done, 3 or 4 endings already, so I am gonna cut the episode here. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, and vibed along with me. I'll see you next time.